To all the geeks and nerds out there, welcome back to another episode of Logic Forever. And guess where we are? We're back here again, but we're not going to be staying here very long. We are just doing the final bit of clearing out of the area. Just got this last bit of stone just here to do, and this is not going to take very long at all. And then we're all done. I've been been away from making videos just for a little bit, but I have been here quite regularly doing a lot of digging. And if we just have a quick fly around, you'll see we have made a lot of progress. Let's zoom all the way up here. Look at this. Not a piece of land in sight, apart from that bit over there, but we're going to get rid of that. And yeah, we just got this thing all cleared out. So this project is pretty much done once we've finished off that little bit of building. I've also added colours to all of these kind of circles here for all of the farms, so all of those are colour coded. So yeah, we are looking real good, so yeah, just a little bit of building, and then we're going to go and build some farms. So we need lots of rockets. Now that we've got a good supply of gunpowder over here in our central storage, we need some paper, and of course for that we need some sugarcane. And of course sugarcane has been in the game for a very long time. There's a million ways to farm it, and I'm sure you've seen every single sugarcane farm known to man. So I've tried to make something a little bit different. This is the kind of theme of this series. It's not going to be the most efficient thing in the world, but it is a bit more fun, and there's plenty of moving parts. But the thing is, before we get to building that, I'm going to need a lot of lime green dye, and we don't really have a good supply of that. So before we do that, we've got to make another farm. We're going to do some sea pickle farming. Again, just built something up myself. Obviously there's a million and one tutorials of how to do that, and just made something pretty straightforward. But yeah, we'll get onto those in a minute. It's getting dark, but yeah, so we're going to get this stuff finished, get rid of all of this, get this finished up, and then we can go away from here and not come back for a little while. And yeah, we can get building those other two farms. And here we go, the last few blocks, and we're done. Everything is now cleared away. Yes, that was a lot of work, I can tell you. There was a lot of stuff to clear out, and now it's all done. Yes. Whew. Okay, I'll be glad to see the end of that. So yeah, let's go back to our normal spawn area, because I've done some planning, and let's get building. Back at spawn, things are looking a bit foggy. And why is that? Well, I finally managed it. I've now updated to the latest version as of this recording, which is 121.8. So yeah, we've got more things that we can go and get. But this is the location of our first farm of the day. We're going to build it right in here. It just about fits. So this is, yeah, it's not super massive, but yeah, we'll get a bit of space around it, and we can turn this into a build at some point. I'm a little bit not sure what to do about buildings. I'll be honest. I kind of like the look of having redstone contraptions and just being able to see the whole thing. I do like to build stuff around them, but then they're kind of hidden away, and I actually like to see the whole kind of mechanism. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do building wise, but anyway, sea pickle farm is going to go here, and we're going to use the lime green dye out of that to build a big old sugarcane farm over here. We've got some digging to do. We're going to build it over there, and then we're going to have some crafters. So we're going to have an auto crafter for crafting up paper, and we're going to have an auto crafter for rockets over here as well. Going to try to separate them all around. We're going to have some items moving about and flying around, stuff like that. So it's going to be pretty cool. So I think let's build up the sea pickle farm. We've got all the items here that we need. So yeah, if you want to build it up, this is the stuff you need, and I will build it up bit by bit and explain how it works. Here's the beginnings of our sea pickle farm, just a few repeaters. But yeah, let me show you what we've got so far. So over here, this is going to be a timer. So we've got 6 of these repeaters, all chained one to the other, all on max settings. We've got this redstone line that goes all the way around here, and we've got these 8 sticky pistons with some target blocks around, just to reroute the redstone, just to make sure that all of these pistons get powered when this redstone gets powered. Yeah, this is a clock over here, and the on and off switch is just here. So we flip this lever, extends this up. The observer gives us a pulse into this block, which then starts the clock, and then obviously turning it off removes the block, and then we'll stop the clock. So if we turn this on, we should see our clock running. So that's how that looks, all good. And of course this will then extend these pistons just for a brief moment, and then puts it down. And yeah, well, it will make sense what this does a bit later on, but yeah, just want to show you bit by bit, just so if you do want to build this as well, you've got all the things you need. So next all I've done is added some coral blocks on top of the sticky pistons and then added waterlogged leaves all around the outside just to make sure our coral blocks don't die because they need to be next to water, and then added a 2-high glass block wall all around the edge as well. That's to encase some water, which we'll get to in a second, and then yeah, just made the start of our collection area here. So there's more of that to come, but just a hopper and a chest next door. So now what we need to do is I need to put another coral block inside, but we don't want it to die, so it needs water, but also I need to have flowing water at the top level up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this. If this works, we're going to put solid blocks down here just temporarily. Then we can add our water over here. So this is going to push all the items over here into the collection area. Now we can break this block. So water should now be flowing down over there, which should be good. Now we can put our coral block in here, which should work, hopefully. And now we can put a water source above it. So if we do that, now we get our sea pickle. Hopefully this should be good. So now all of our coral blocks now have water. We have our flowing water on top, so now we can get rid of all of this. So now with those temporary blocks gone, what will happen is we'll be able to bone meal the central sea pickle, and then as the pistons push these blocks up, they're going to always be in contact with water, either the leaves underneath or the water on the top. So they should all be fine. And obviously every time we bone meal the central pickle, we'll get pickles around the outside, and pushing the blocks up will break them, and then the water will push them over here for our collection. And now I've just added a little bit more to our storage. So there's a hopper on top of the double chest, just pointing straight down, with another hopper pointed into it above the hopper we had before, with a honey block in front of it, or on top of it, should I say. Now what I want to do is I want to break this block right here so water flows in there, but I made a bit of a boo-boo when it comes to doing this, so we're just going to do it again quickly. So if I break this block, no water flows, and that's, yeah, it's because of the way I did the water. So I'm going to put this back for now, and I'm going to redo what we just did. So let's break the pickle. I think it should be fine. Now we're going to put our temporary blocks back again, and hopefully we can do this without killing any of the coral blocks. So we're going to do that, and now we can break this block and the water flows in there. Excellent, that's what we want. So now we've probably killed we killed it already, but that's okay because I've got a spare. So we put that in there, it's all good. And now we're going to just do what we did before. We'll put a water source in here, and we get our pickle, put him in there, and now we should be good. Now we can get rid of the temporary blocks. And we've got all of our coral live. We didn't kill any coral at all, honest cover. But the important thing is we've got this water now coming in here. So when the pickles are harvested, they'll get pushed by this water over here, and then get pushed by this water up against the honey block. And because that's slightly smaller than a normal block, the hopper underneath can pick up the items, and then it will go into our storage. Now we're using double speed now to get items into the chest, because pickles come out of here pretty quickly. And so last of all, I've added a dispenser above the sea pickle, and we're going to get some bone meal into that. So there's just a hopper with a chest on top just for extra storage. And now we've got a little clock here. So we've got this observer with a repeater on the second setting right there. And then we've got 2 observers here. This observer here will be pushed up to create a clock that's not too fast, so we don't waste too much bone meal. So that's this bit, and then underneath, that was fell down. So then we've got a piston underneath to push the observer up when we want to turn the clock on. Then we've got a couple of observers with this one here looking at this leaf block, and then we've just added a log to the on and off switch. So when we turn the farm on, this log moves over to here, which will then give us a bit of leaf stone, just a little bit, just to update these leaves, which will then be seen by that observer, and then push the piston up, and it should be bone mealing, and it all should be working. So I guess what we'll do is let's get some bone meal into this thing and turn it on. So I don't have that much bone meal, but we'll put it in, and that will have to do just for now. But that's the next thing on the list, probably, is some kind of bone meal farm. So we'll get to that in all due course. So let's gonna wait for that just to filter down a little bit, and then we can flip the lever. Okay, let's turn it on. Our clock should run as it did before, and we should see, so there you go, the observer's been pushed up, so we've got our clock going, that is dispensing the bone meal, and then you can see we're now getting sea pickles. Oh yeah, look at that. Yes, excellent. So you can see so the pistons underneath push up the coral blocks, which break the pickles. They get pushed over by the water, like I said, and then into storage. So we're getting quite a lot there, and my bone meal won't last too long, but this should give us enough sea pickles to dye all of the blocks and glass and whatnot, because we're going to build quite a big sugarcane farm right over there. And that small amount of bone meal has run out already. So let's see how much we've got. Yeah, not bad at all. That will do nicely. A beacon beam in the sky can only mean one thing, and that is lots more digging. So yeah, I just want to shave off a little bit of this side of this cliff just so we can insert our sugarcane farm up here. It's going to be pretty tall but also quite thin, so it's only going to come out a few blocks. I think it's like maybe 5 blocks wide, something like that. But yeah, I just want to insert it into the mountain a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to do a bit more digging, and then we can get building. After all the digging I've done around the witch farms, this little bit of a dig was no bother at all. Just took a few minutes just to go through this and clear out the area. So now we've got a nice chunk inset into the mountain for our sugarcane farm. But then I went off to try and get various resources for the farm, and I was missing one key thing, and that was quite a lot of slime. We need quite a lot of slime blocks, and I don't have a slime farm just yet. So I thought I'd rig up these couple of platforms over by our witch farms, and then yeah, wait till night time and just try and kill as many slimes as we can. And that was enough to get all the slime balls that we need, just about. So yeah, a slime farm is also on the list pretty quickly. We're going to need plenty of slime. And here's the site of the sugarcane farm, right in here, as I said, all just inset into the mountain just a little bit. Yeah, so it's not that big, but yeah, that should fit in nicely. And here are all the resources ready to go. And this is going to be quite big, but I think also quite fun. So I think what we do is, yeah, quite similar to what we do with other things. I'll build up one little layer because there's going to be like 10 layers, I think it is. So if I just build up the first layer and then explain how it works, and then I can build the rest of it later. But there's one more thing I need, and it doesn't fit in here. We need to go mob hunting in a minute for some other bits and pieces. So yeah, let's get building first, and then we can go exploring. I was going to build up one layer, but I've actually built up 2, and I think that will give us a better demo of what we're doing. So as no surprise, we've got a load of sugarcane already here, and let me just show you how this is going to work. And basically what we've got here, we're just going to duplicate up. So there's 2 layers here, so we've got another 8 to go, and it's basically this but duplicated 4 more times on the top. So essentially, probably better if I go into free cam, I reckon. So let's just do that just to make our life a little bit easier. So obviously we've got the sugarcane in here. It's going to grow 3 tall, and then we're going to have a clock over here, which we'll talk about a bit later on. It's kind of cool, but when the clock decides it's time to harvest, it's going to power this line right here, which would extend these pistons, and this slime bar over here with the rails on top will push across and break all of the slime blocks. And we've got this redstone line that keeps going across here. There's a bit of a delay with these repeaters, so we'll get a delay of this bar goes first, then that bar, then the one over there. So all 3 bars will go across, and at the same time this minecart will get triggered as well from the same clock, and then that will then go across the rails because they will now be across there. Now when that slime block goes across, it's going to break obviously the sugarcane. A bunch of that sugarcane is going to land on top, so the hopper minecart can pick up all of the sugarcane that lands on top, and it will go all the way along here to here, up this bubble column, up to here, get powered, and then shoot across this way. And as it crosses this detector rail, we go into this little delay circuit right here, and then the same thing happens. All these bars go across one at a time, this one, then that one, then that one, and it's all triggered from when the minecart arrives, and then we keep doing this all the way up. So what's going to happen is we're going to have these slime bars in this order. So this one first, then this one, then this one, this one, this one, this one, and then so far it's going to snake all the way up, all the 10 layers all the way to the top, and then the minecart will end up over here and then come back down to an unload station. Now what you're going to notice here is we've got a gap right here, and also obviously here as well. Now when this slime block comes across, a whole bunch of sugarcane is going to fly out of here to this area, and then we're going to deal with it, but we'll come to that a bit later. But first, how about a quick demo? I guess that's better than me yapping and explaining it all, but hopefully you get an idea of what's going to happen and why. So yeah, let's flip this lever, and I'll just rig this up temporarily so the minecart should go along. So we get a bit of movement with the items flying, and we get obviously the minecart as well. So let's do this. And it goes across, you can see it's picking those up, and then it goes across here, flungs them all over the place, and then it picks up the items on top. All right, and then we end up with a load of sugarcane all over here. But yeah, I've got a plan for that. Don't you worry about that. We've got a plan, and it's going to be good. So I think we need to build all of this up, or the rest of the layers, just basically duplication of what we've got here. Then we can talk about the clock that's going to be over here, and then we can talk about how we're going to deal with these items after that. And then we've got, on top of all of that, we've then got a couple of crafting stations for paper and for rockets as well to build. So yeah, still got quite a bit of cool stuff to come. But before we carry on the build, we're on the search. I need to look for an outpost because I'm hoping that we can find some allays. They're going to help us with the item collection. So well, we're just going to fly around and hopefully we're going to see one. They're pretty common, but it's pot luck whether there's going to be allays in there. So I'm just going to go out this way and see what we find. Yeah, so I don't know how many we need. Like one is fine, it will just work. But if we can get more than one, that would be awesome. And look what we spy right over here. Let's see if there's any allays over here. Hopefully there might be. Let's look at the encampment. There's a few cages. There's going to be an iron golem there, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, I can see some blue. Yep, there is. There's a cage there. Oh, there's another cage. There's 2 cages with allays in. Excellent. All right, this is great news. Great news indeed. And it's so good that you can now just kill the captains and not have to worry about bad omen. And we can collect the bottles as well. I'm sure they'll come in useful at some point. Hey, leave me alone. Now we've healed up a bit. Let's break in here. Now what I'm going to do is give these allays some sugarcane. If I can reach, yep, he's got one. And let's get this guy. Oh, my guy. Yep, you got one as well. And I've got some leads just to make sure that they stick around. Hey guy, come here, come back. Okay, excellent. And here we go, back to base with our 2 buddies following us. I think I'll leave the others in the cage in case we need to come back and get some more at a later date, but we can always breed these up if we need some more. So yeah, let's get back to the sugarcane farm. We made it back safe and sound with our little guys and they are ready to get to work. So I think what we need to do is just build this thing up. Let's get on with it. Then we've got some more redstone to do. This is going to be really cool. And as you watch me build up this sugarcane farm, I want to say a big thank you to, well, all of you lot. Basically, yeah, thanks for your patience. Basically, when I started this series, I managed to get out videos at a pretty good cadence. But recently, I've had to just have a little bit of a pause before this one comes out. And I'm racing now to try and get this one done. This is currently a Wednesday night, and I want to try and get this out for the following Sunday. Hopefully, I can do that. Yeah, just normal life things, nothing major, just lots of things going on. As a single parent, there's lots of things that happen. We've had exams and moving people into universities and all this kind of stuff. There's just lots going on. And obviously YouTube has to take a back seat sometimes, but I'm hoping that in the next few weeks I should be able to get back onto a good cadence and hopefully get videos out a bit more regular. But if not, then, you know, just the way it goes, I'm going to try my best. So yeah, thanks for your patience. Yeah, I really appreciate that. And I've got some great ideas. I've got a whole bunch of ideas coming up. I've got a notebook full of some potential design ideas for some new farms and some different ways of doing things, the kind of things that we do on this channel quite a lot, and I think you're going to like it. So stick around, and if you like the kind of stuff you're seeing now, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Join the Geek Squad as we call it, and yeah, everyone's welcome. So thanks again, thanks a lot. And the bulk of the farm is now done. We've got 10 layers of sugarcane, and yeah, as you see here, we have our minecart over here, and that's all ready to go and zigzag its way all the way to the top. Once it gets to the top, it's going to end up hitting this wall just here and then falling down and coming back where it started, landed on this hopper so it can unload all the sugarcane it's picked up, and then it'll go into this smart dropper system. So imagine this is a load of sugarcane, goes into here, spits it all out. So what I'm thinking, what I would like to do maybe is have some kind of water feature here, maybe a little pond that all of these can then go into, and then that maybe has a water stream that pushes all of the sugarcane from here down this way. And then what I want to have over here is our crafting station, maybe over here somewhere, for crafting all of that sugarcane into paper automatically. That would be quite cool. Now, of course, all of the sugarcane, as I said, there's going to be a whole bunch flying out of here and landing in this area. That's where our blue boys are going to come in handy. They're going to pick up all of the sugarcane. And likewise, I'd like to have another drop-off station, maybe somewhere over here, another sort of water feature, another pond, if you like, that they can chuck all the items into, and then they'll get filtered into the same auto crafting system to create paper. And then we'll have another auto crafting system, maybe down there somewhere in a different building, that takes all the paper and the gunpowder from our witch farm and turns them into rockets. That's the idea. So in terms of the farm, we've got one more thing to build, and that is the timing circuit over here. And I've got quite a cool thing here. I'm sure I'm positive it's been done a million times before, but I haven't done it before. So I want to build this up, and it's going to be a configurable timer that we can set this farm to go off every, well, X number of minutes. We can configure it. So that would be quite cool. Oh, I should say as well, I've added this water up here. That's because sometimes some of the items, when they break and land, they land on these blocks right here on the glazed terracotta. So then when the slime blocks pull back, they push the items backwards, and that's why I've got these blocks extended here, so they hit those and then fall down into this water and then get pushed over here, ready for the allays to pick up. All right, pretty cool. Let's get on with the timer. Okay, I've been kind of busy. I've kind of done a little bit more than just the timer. So there's the clock over there. I'll show you that in a second. But I've also added the other bits and pieces I was talking about with these ponds. Now, I do need to decorate these properly. This is just a placeholder just to get the ball rolling and get this thing working. But essentially, yeah, the sugarcane's going to come out of here, fall into here, and then get pushed down here into this water stream, go all the way along here, all the way along there, then it turns this way, goes into here and into this auto crafter, which is auto crafting our paper. So it'll come up here, the sugarcane come up here into this chest and into this system right here. So maybe I'll just quickly show you this. It's pretty straightforward, but yeah, essentially the sugarcane will go into this crafter right here, and we've blocked off all the other the slots, so we just get 3, because obviously it's 3 sugarcane for a paper. And then basically once that gets filled up totally, it will get activated, and then the paper will go in that chest there. So we've got this clock over here, just a normal clock you get on it's like a smart dropper over here. But then on this side we've got this comparator checking against this full crafter, so when it gets to the right signal strength, it will let it through. And then over on this side we've got a comparator checking this chest. This is where all the output is, where all the I've been testing it, there you go, where all the paper goes. Once this fills up, it will then power this block here, which locks the hopper there. So once we get this filled up, then it won't produce any more paper, and it will start backlogging the sugarcane in here. Now actually I'm going to change this, I think, because this will just end up probably going automatically into the rocket crafter, which I think I'm going to build down there. So we might not need this bit, so I can probably remove these bits and pieces, but yeah, that's where we are with that. And in terms of our blue boys, we've got a setup already done for that. So I've got this pond as well. Again, this is just temporary. I want to decorate this a bit better. It looks a bit janky, but it should be functional for now. Basically underneath here, you can hear it. Yeah, that might get a bit annoying, so I might change that as well. Basically, there is a note block with a salmon head on top, and then there's 2 observers facing each other, just to give you that constant pinging, if you like. And so, of course, these guys are going to be tuned to that. And then when they pick up the sugarcane they're already holding, they'll just dump it in here. It will get washed down here along this water stream, down here, and into the same water stream as the other one. So that should be all of our item collection all done. And the last thing here is the clock I've added. And for this, we'll go into free cam mode. So at the back here, we have a usual ether hopper clock just right here. And inside there, we have 2 stacks and 22 items. That means that this is going to fire once a minute. So every minute this is going to fire. And then we've got an observer that notices when that moves. And then over here, we just got a counter effectively. So we've got this dropper going into a hopper. And inside here, you just have however many items you want in terms of minutes. So if you want this to harvest every 20 minutes, just put 20 items into here, and that's how often it will happen. So yeah, it's basically a counter. So over here, we've got these 2 hoppers pointing to each other. There's 1 item in here, and so that's being locked while it's counting. And then once this dropper is then empty, then the item then moves over to here. That then gives us a signal through here, which then powers this block. And then we've got this little bit of signal, a little bit of a circuit here that will then power the minecart. There's obviously a power. There's a torch over here and over here. Goes through this repeater into here, powers this, that goes off. But I've also got the check here, so if this is unloading, it's not going to go off if it's unloading. So yeah, that's what that is all about. So that's how that works. Pretty cool stuff. So I guess it's time to give it a test. I think I'm probably going to put 40 items in there, so this will harvest every 40 minutes. So obviously I could do it on like a day-night cycle, but the thing there is, because you can sleep and skip the night, there might not be enough time for this to grow properly. So I think I'm going to try just doing it on just an actual timer, just 40 minutes, and see how that gets on. So here is the dropout with how many minutes. So there's the 40 minutes. So I think what I'm going to do for testing purposes, I'm going to just give us 2 items in here. So that'd be 2 minutes. Oh, did I set it off? I might have set it off. I did. I set it off already. Here they go. There we go. You can see the minecart going across, and up it goes, and it's just going to go along. And all the sugarcane is being flung all over the place. Let's come over here. There we go. So we got yeah, sugarcane everywhere, but that's all right. That's okay. Oh man, I didn't want to trigger that. Oh dear. Okay, well let's just wait till this finishes, and then we'll release our allays. Let's make sure this goes all the way around. I've not tested this yet, so that will go around, and then the last one up on the top. There we go. It's all raining down sugarcane. So there's the minecart falling down, and now that should come into here. It starts chucking out his items, so that's unloading. Very good. Now let's release these guys. Okay, and they're off. They are super excited about collecting the sugarcane. Look how fast they're going. That's incredible. Right, so hopefully we'll see them drop it in there. There we go. He dropped it in. Yep, there it goes. Excellent. Look at this. It's working. Yes. So that's all going in there. Very good stuff. And we've got this sugarcane going in there. Oh man, this is great. Look at this. This is exactly what I want for this series. We want lots of movement, lots of action. There's the sugarcane coming in. And this is firing. There we go. And we should have paper coming out. Look at this. Is it working? Oh, brilliant. Obviously, that's a little bit of a flaw. He's going to pick up all the stuff in there, but that's okay. He'll go flying around and do other stuff as well. So the main point is, somehow or other, the sugarcane is going to get into the system, and he'll go and drop it off in here. Oh man, that's brilliant. I love it. And that's the first harvest complete. All the sugarcane has been picked up, and hopefully these boys won't disappear. If they do, we'll just have to replace them, but hopefully they will stick around the note block. And what I've done is I've turned the farm on. There's an on and off switch just at the back there, attached to the hopper clock, and I've changed the number of items to 40 minutes. So this is all set up and running. So we should be seeing more sugarcane coming in. And let's check how much paper we got. There we go. That's how much paper you get from one harvest. So that's pretty good. Now what I want to do is down here, I want to build a rocket crafter, and that's going to take the paper out of here. And then what we'll do is we'll get a load of sugarcane from the witch farm. So the idea is that we can just come over to here and grab some rockets. So there will just always be rockets. We do need to. I do want to add like a building around this, I think, and also that other craft as well. So I do want to have some buildings, and then need to do some decorating around here, and also need to think about what we're going to do with that build as well. So yeah, there's lots of stuff to do, but yeah, we've made a lot of good progress today. So anyway, let me get on with the rocket crafter, and then yeah, we should be good. And there she is, a rocket crafter, all ready to go. So it's all wired up and got a water stream as well. So let me talk you through this super quickly. So here we go. So this is the output. This is where all the rockets are going to end up. And there's a crafter that's going to craft them. I've preloaded that with some rockets and paper. And on either side of it, we've got a hopper and a chest for the goods either side. So all we've got to do now is get obviously the paper into that side. And in terms of the gunpowder, I've brought a bunch over from the witch farm. So we're just going to put that in there manually for now. And then over here, how does the paper get there? Well, over here I've added this water stream. So again, this is temporary, just like that stuff over there. It's just a placeholder to give us the kind of idea of what we're going for. But yeah, I took out the chest from here. So now when the sugarcane gets crafted into paper, it's going to drop into this water stream, go around here and over here. So I think the idea here is I'm thinking that this will be surrounded in some kind of small building, and so there'll be, you know, maybe this is a drain, or I don't know what it is. This is some kind of waterway outside of the building that comes out, and then it comes along here. And I want to make the so when the items come along here, I want to be able to see them. So I'm using slabs here. We might change this up as well. We might put some curves in or whatnot, but yeah, just keeping it easy for now. And then that goes over here, and again we'll have a building around here, and this is a tube then that goes into the building and then can get used. Now in terms of how the crafter works itself, it's hopefully relatively straightforward. So we've got a comparator on both sides reading this hopper that takes the ingredients in. So once this is empty, what will happen is it will this will get powered. So once it's got stuff in, that will depower. And the idea here is we just basically got an AND gate. So if both of the hoppers have got items in, then the farm will be on. So these will be unpowered, and so that will then power this torch and extend this. So when we've got items in both hoppers, essentially this piston extends, gives us a hopper clock, and that powers the crafter right there. Now we've also got over here, so we've got a hopper here, and that's been compared with this block, this redstone block. So when essentially this chest gets filled up totally, then we get a signal out of here that goes into the same circuit and turns the farm off. So the farm turns off if we get this full up with rockets, and it'll also turn off if we run out of ingredients on either side. So that's the failsafe. And I think what we could do as well is we could wire this up as well all the way back to the sugarcane farm itself, and then turn that off. So if we've got enough paper, there's no need to produce anymore, and we can just turn this farm off. I think one of the things I'm trying to do in this series is make sure that all farms can be turned off. So we've got this lever just over here, so we can definitely wire this up to the rocket crafter as well. So I think we're all done. I think we just Just need to see it all working from end to end. So you can see here that there's still got quite a bit of growth to go with the sugarcane. It did harvest not so long ago, and if we just check, we can see exactly how many minutes we've got to go. So this is how many minutes left. We've got 13 minutes. All right, I'm going to hang around for 13 minutes, and then we can see this thing in all its glory. And the first harvest is now complete. So let's take a look. And we've got a little bit of paper here. Let's deal with that. And yeah, I guess I can have a look at that and improve that in a minute. But yeah, just wanted to check how many rockets do we get from one full harvest. Let's have a look. Not bad. Not bad at all. It won't take too many more harvests. Yeah, let's get it filled up. Maybe another 4, which should fill that up. Very cool. All right, so we shouldn't have any problems with rockets anymore. Very pleased with that. And that is a job well done. We've got a sugarcane farm, auto crafters for paper and rockets, and we even squeezed in a sea pickle farm as well. That's what I call a good episode. All right, hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, then please hit the like button. And if you're new, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you later.